focused. We are focused. We are focused, boys. We are focused. There we go. There we go. We got a lot to cover today. Let's turn down the music. Let's get after it. Let's get that monitor right there. I hope you like my new background. It's real. I promise you this is all real background. We got a lot of progress in the last 3 weeks. Welcome aboard to all the new members. We have done a lot. We are going to be pumping out content. That is exactly what I was planning this morning. What is my content calendar? Because yesterday I did an amazing journal and it didn't save and it gave me a 404 error. All right, so what do we got to do, AI? We're going to have a live stream every single day. I'm going to be waking up earlier. It's going to be 9:30 to 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Let's turn this music down a little bit so I can hear myself think. There we go. Then we're going to put out a video a day. What am I learning? During this process? Because there is so much uncertainty. I've said it before. I'll say it again. People just don't know what to do. They don't know what to grasp. This is the best AI. This is the best revolution we've had in a while. We're about to go over some news. We're about to bang out some big ideas. Boatenston.com. Man, it's good. Obviously, there's improvement. Obviously, there is a random refresh that's happening, and I was trying to debug it yesterday. But dude, look at this. I said it's got to be mobile first. It refreshes, brings me to the top. So it's just minor little things. Down here, I don't know if you can see it. Down here, this build was black and white. We need color. We need the color. We need to inspire. We need to bring them into creating a proposal. And then sure enough, last night, I went and I did, and I'm getting chills. I did the entire trip. I went from the front, build me something. It went through all of this. And I said, listen, what if I want to leave? You know what? Don't worry about it. We got it saved. Obviously, yes. Can it be cleaner? Of course, boys and girls, it can be cleaner. But that's not the point. You got to go from an MVP, minimal viable product, into something that you can tweak. Is a car just assembled? Is a plane just assembled? Is a house, a building? There has to be a framework around the business. Website, app. Is Instagram today what it was when it was bought by Meta? At that time, Facebook, for $1 billion. What was it, 12 people? Now you go into the back end, and now you have the proposal. This was a real proposal that came from Boatenston.com. That's a real proposal. Now we build it out. Where people who are approved, who are developers, as you can see on the upper left corner, right here, the developers. Obviously, I have a what to talk about. We could remove that. Get that off the screen so we can see what's going on. We can get that off the screen. Let's get that off the screen. What did I just removed? Did I just remove my camera? I just removed my camera. This is what I'm saying. Anything can get built. That's the inspiration behind the content calendar. Why? Everyone is going after each other. Anthropic says, hey, listen, we're actually going to stop throttling you and we're going to reset your limits. They did that yesterday. If you're on a $100 or $200 plan, you now have better limits. They said, you know what? Everyone is talking about OpenAI and how good their limits are. Dude, they are losing so much money. They're not even meeting their goals. They're not meeting their enterprise goals because they're not as good as Anthropic. Anthropic says, what is throttling us? Servers. Servers are throttling us. So what do we have to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to partner with the people, Elon, who's in a lawsuit with Sam Altman. And by the way, this, as someone said yesterday, this doesn't happen in a day. This clearly Anthropic knew that their servers needed to get just completely upgraded from where they are right now. So Anthropic, huge partnership with SpaceX. Elon just rebranded it to SpaceX AI. We'll get into the building in a second. We just have to go after the news because this is all very, very pertinent to us as builders, as people who are solopreneurs. Okay, there was this statistic yesterday. It is the most important statistic you'll ever see in your life. Okay, it showed CS graduates, computer science graduates, in 2023 from this, I forgot what school it was. Obviously, it was a very, very good school. I don't know if it was MIT, if it was Yale, Harvard. I don't know where it was from. 91% were hired right out of school at it was like $80-something thousand a year. Right now, it is 18% are being hired out of school and less than $65,000. So less people being paid less. What does that mean? Is school not worth it anymore? Why go into debt? Start at age 13, 14. The best thing you as a father can do is give your kid a $200 Claude plan and be like, dude, go build something. This is your college tuition. Learn. No, you have no cell phone. You just learn. You become a business person. You understand. You fail. I failed 4 different builds so far. So he rebranded. Let's move on. Claude AI, this is going to be everywhere. Hacking, and then you are at ransom to give back what they hacked. There's another hacking story this is going to be all over the news. Governments, businesses, people, banks, Fortune 500s. They're all going to be under ransom. All going to be under ransom. The FBI made a showcase to a kid who hacked, it was like something million, some crazy number, 60 million students and teachers' records and everything like that. They threw this guy in jail for 4 years. That's the only way. They got to have a company that's private that goes after the people that are going after water utility control systems. We need that. Okay? The trial's going on right now. It will be very interesting if they release text messages. It's very, very interesting. In Wall Street Journal, there was a romantic relationship with Musk, and then it was something with OpenAI. It's going to be a bloodbath. Here you go. Hackers publish a list of 8,800 schools hit by Canvas breach. Threatens full data leak. What does it say? What does it say right here? What does it say right here? Everyone is going to be compromised. You got to own your own stuff. As a business, internal server connected to the computers, and of course, nothing is perfect. However, I'm not putting my stuff on servers. It was crazy amounts of passwords. I think it's a third story. Here you go. Here's the passwords. Passwords leaked. This is what I'm talking about. Nothing's going to be a password. Getting into there's got to be a third layer. You got a password, that's easy. You got something that goes to your email, a code, 6-digit code. That's easy because you can get into the email. What's the third layer? Your cell phone? Crypto? What's the third one? Well, the World Economic Forum thinks that there's going to be a global database and there's going to be a global passkey. So you as an individual are on a central database. Why am I saying this? Well, they have a 100% case that El Nino is going to strike Europe. How do you know that? And how do you know it's 100%? Very interesting. That was in the news. And they said, by the way, this is going to be in the fall. So months in advance, they're producing stories about an El Nino that's going to be hitting the European area. Very interesting. This is very interesting. They've been continuously, you know what? Let's go into a little bit building right now. We got to go into a little bit. We got to get what it produces. So I like this, very clean. You can see the characters. You can see the brief. You can see what's going on. Okay, step 2 of 3. That needs to be a little bit higher. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. That needs to be higher. But we're not going to do that right now. We're going to do a focus build. We're not. There we go. All right. Let's see what it produces. I like this. This is a live look at what it's building. This is essentially to get people excited about building what they've always wanted to build. This is the biggest thing right here. I was on the train today. Packed train. Standing room only. Every seat was taken. Everyone was silent. Everyone is in a state of hopelessness. So why? Robotics, servers, $1 billion, $1 trillion. That's all happening up here by the same 10 companies. Oracle, NVIDIA, AMD, Intel. Then you have open source Chinese models. A lot of it is banned. Their phones confiscated. I think there was government confiscated. It was like 6 million phones or 23 million. It was some crazy thing because we can't have competition in the United States because they are pro building. China's only emphasis is on China. United States is on the world. How do we emphasize the world? Let's not emphasize the United States and the infrastructure. Let's emphasize the world. Well, there's going to be pushback from the Americans once China in 6 to 12 to 18 months is just plowing through. Their drones, a lot of their DJI drones banned, phones banned, cars banned. Well, I guess we got to shift our messaging to be pro-AI instead of anti-AI. Very interesting. This is the biggest flop. Steve Jobs bought Siri for $200 million. They asked him at some conference, what is this company that you're buying? And Steve Jobs, you could look up the video on YouTube, just say Steve Jobs conference Siri, and it'll come up. What is this? What is this Siri company? Oh, it's artificial intelligence. This is 2011, 2012, 13, 14 years ago. They flopped on that. They could have been the Anthropic. You integrate it into your life and you just say, oh, by the way, you have a doctor's appointment. Oh, by the way, it's been 6 months since you've gone to the dentist. Oh, by the way, you got to, like proactively being your assistant. So here you go. This is okay. This is much better. This is much better. Look at this. Much better. Much better. There is on the pop-up window while waiting on Botenston.com for my mock-up, there is a email that is at the bottom of the page. This should be prominent in the top navigation row that is horizontal and prominent. Also, there is still a very, very strange refresh once the mock-up is produced. It refreshes, goes to the top of the page, so I can't actually scroll. There needs to be a deep, deep, deep research on why this is occurring. We need to debug that. It's a very, very big, important bug that we need to eliminate. The refresh once the mock-up is done and the viewer can see the mock-up. All right, let's send that out. But outside of the random refresh, so what I wanted to do was put the right up here, put the email right up there. So you go, there's a couple things you could do. Down here, you could say build it, polish it, new angle. So now you get a first try. Now you have something. Now let's polish it. I haven't clicked this one or the new angle yet, but let's try to polish it, okay? Love it. Let's make it real. Okay, that's not good. New angle. Okay, so then it goes back. What it should do, see? What it should do is, here, let's take a screenshot of this. Let's take a screenshot of this. All right. Let's add this into the chat. This I'm gonna bring this down so I have a good visual. All right. Let's see if there's any bugs. By the way, I went banana hammocks on the bugs yesterday. There was so many bugs. And then our boy added one in today. That got handled. We added a new member yesterday. Welcome. We got to really dive into this. We took away a fourth. There was 4 options. So the 4 use, that is connected to Obsidian. And Obsidian essentially has a memory of each member. So then when they go into videos or spaces, or anything in the future, which is going to be Othello. Othello is essentially going to be a place where you have vertical videos. I'm going to be producing a lot more content. This is going to be a community of people that build, solopreneurs, designers, data architects, security, doesn't matter. You come in here and it's all about positivity in a world where there's a lot of people that are looking to hack water control systems. Bro, hack? I wouldn't say anything, but why would you do that? Well, the government. Yeah. No, don't do that. Here you go. This is on iCharles. We could send this one out. All right. So this screenshot, let's go back to this. The build it 60-second, this should be different because polish it. For the 3 buttons at the bottom after a mock-up is completed, you have build it, polish it, new angle. The new angle needs to be something where it takes the current mock-up and the prompt for the mock-up and uses the same prompt but expands upon it. So there is an actual new angle created. It doesn't go back to the Botenston.com. Also for the polish takes the existing build and polishes it, whether that's using the impeccable polish skill, but it doesn't actually go into what it is right now, which is sending an email to me. The build it needs to be way more obvious that they are about to create a proposal. Something along the lines where you say, use in proposal, or something where they understand they're about to use it into a proposal. And then there's a button at the top right that says take this further. There has to be a better call to action than take this further. And also the button has to pop more. All right. So that's going right now, but we need that ready. So it's still building from the previous. Still building from the previous. And then let's do, okay, so that's the members area. The members area is very important. I was watching Bridge Mind Guy. He's a good guy. Good guy. Nothing about the guy. He just complicates a lot of things. There was a setup process that he wanted to create for new members, which is go to Stripe, and then you have your email, and then you have your password, then you have a code that goes to your email, and it was like, I see it as you put in your email, you pay, and then you have, once the payment goes through, then you have a magic link, which is a very long token email, or link to your email, 70 randomized characters, and it's only available for 5 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that. Like to do codes and passwords and all these different steps, that is not the future. Passwords is not the future. Definitely not. We just saw it today in the news. Passwords hacked. All right, so this is getting the members area up and running much better. The live stream, I went on a live stream on the train yesterday. I was going to Long Island. It was good. I came in as a member to see what they would see. See, every single one needs to have their own. This was built by the prompt. Look how good that website is. Look how good that is. I also should have said every build has its own unique URL. Also, make sure that every single mockup has its own unique URL, and then there's a button at the top navigation where you have insert email and subscribe to get the build. That there's a clear button that says open in new window with a icon that shows that. Do you have any project idea in the AI space people actually need and would pay for it? So that is going to be part of. That is funny you said that. Look at this. I don't know if it's focusing. It says ideas. That's exactly the content I'm going to be producing. That is the exact content that I'm going to be producing. I need to get a content calendar. Okay, so it's done. Let's see what it did. Committed, email capture, refresh, root cause found and fixed. It wasn't a refresh, it was a CSS rule. Okay. So to answer your question, RUD cache, this is the method in which you do it. Okay? That's it. That's what you do. Me to them. What in my life can I solve? Let's go to me. I'll give you an example. So I have a place called Personal. This is only available to me. I go here. It tracks my sleep score. I have a triathlon coach. I have a streaks, which means a habit training. I have a journal area where I can click in and start an entry, and it's a video journal. I could create videos, edit videos. I have a calendar of my life. I have an inbox. I have my own inbox right here with my own custom email and a docs area that I'm going to start using. Because I don't want to use Google Docs. I don't want their stuff. I don't want them to know my stuff. So you build something for you first. You listen to music. I'll give you an example. I'll give you more examples. And then I'll get into the ideas. This is Riverside. Riverside essentially is what I just showed you, which is filming your own video and then editing out the pause, ums, and ahs. That's the only thing I care about. Cut out all the space that is dead air. And then I can export it. I paid upwards of $300 there. They also had live features. You could publish it to Spotify. They had other features. You know, you could splice stuff together. But the only things I cared about, and I used this, was that it was a clean interface that took my video and had a good, clean editor. I eliminated that. I'm not upping my subscription. Opus Clip. Opus Clip is something that took my video and clipped it up. I don't think clips are the future when it comes to YouTube Shorts and things like that. I think it's highly tailored videos that cuts out the ums and ahs, and obviously might have some. You build something. This is something that is a idea for thumbnails. It's ideas on keywords. All this I paid money for, $400, $250, $30 a month. Let's keep on going. Salesforce, this is the big one. This is what got me into vibe coding. No, where is it? Salesforce is right here. This is my gym. Salesforce, I can't replace my gym. Salesforce, this is my Salesforce. I paid $1,900. I had also a Squarespace subscription for my website. They didn't talk to each other. I also had a MailChimp subscription, which was like $300 a month. Okay? I don't need those anymore. I use resend API keys. It is 100 free emails a day. And then it scales up to like $10, $20. Let's not go to that page, but resend is amazing. I don't know what the cost is, but look at what you need to change in your life first. If you have that problem, then someone else probably does too. And this is the ideas. Are you ready for the ideas? All right, what's going on, Amir? I had a slight feeling that background is fake. That is completely false. I have no idea what Real Tracks is talking about. By the way, on the right side it says chat is disabled on the stream. You can't read the chat then. RIP. Ayo! You're right. All right, let's take this. Let's go to there. I'm not done with the ideas, by the way. That is going to be videos. That is going to be videos. Let's move the community thing out of the way. Ideas. I don't know if Red is a bot. I have no idea. The bots are botting everywhere. The Botenston bot, I have no idea. Bro, I'm not a bot. I saw the stream on recommendation. What are you building? There we go. You're looking at it. My content is going to go through the roof. There are so many people that are in this space that don't have business knowledge. Like I have business knowledge. I have sales knowledge. I have marketing knowledge. I have knowledge that is needed because it's such a young space that grew up on the internet. I grew up in person. Know what might sell. I don't know why my mic just went out. An idea is what do you like in your town? Do you like restaurants? Do you like food? Do you like to work out? Okay, you like to work out. A lot of those personal trainers have no CRM, customer relationship management. The restaurants, they all use OpenTable and they all use Resi. These companies cost so much money. They take a clip out of every single check. Hey, listen, I'll build you. Go to your local Mexican restaurant. Hey, listen, you got 2 locations. I'll build you a website. I'll build you a CRM. I'll build you a QR code. I'll build it so you can send out emails and you can do special sales. And anytime you come in and use the QR code, you get 5% off. Why? So now you can track the food that is actually getting ordered. So your POS, that's how you do your sales, point of service, point of sales, whatever it is. You can track your food and be like, you know what? This burrito is not getting ordered, off the menu. You are dry cleaners. You're into shoes. You're into trading. You're into crypto. Dude, there is so much that people don't know how to build. I didn't know how to build. In 6 months, I went from like 4 really bad. Like, they were really good on the surface. They weren't coded, wired, architecture, security, database was not good here. It wasn't wired. It was very good on the surface, but it wasn't like pinging each other. So I had to scrap it. What you see in front of you is what I built. I said, this is it. What can I save money on? I went to this. I went to circle.so. I want to build a community of people that are very skilled on whatever their idea is. To actually do circle.so, which is a great foundation, that's how much it is per month. So that's $2,400 a year that I'm now saving because I built my own community. And this is free. I had to buy a Mac Studio. That's it. This is being hosted on a Mac Studio. I don't pay. Stripe probably takes whatever percent, but so does a credit card. So does PayPal. Every transaction management takes something. So we are refining. So I built this, and then this is the next pet project right here. And we are moving along pretty fast on this. I am a coach. You know, you want an idea? So part of the idea is you build a coaching based on AI. I am thinking of building this. A triathlon coach, a workout coach, a diet coach, but it's based on AI because AI has Brave API, so it could search the internet. Does it know something? Brave API searches the internet, goes to Open Router AI, and it comes back with, here's what you're eating this week. That's what my triathlon coach does. My triathlon coach replaced my real triathlon coach, which was $300 a month. Except my real triathlon coach has to make a living. She's amazing, nothing on her. So she can't go into the Garmin details, all the metrics that my Garmin, how fast, the pace, per minute, per second, what's the HRV, all these TSS, all these metrics that I don't know about because I'm not a coach and I'm not AI. A coaching platform. So the basis, this is what I was thinking. This is the basis. This is the real estate of every website. The left side is the main navigation. The right side is the sub-menus of the left navigation, and then the top is never used unless you're in the third area of the menu. So you go here, supposedly, okay, this is good. Okay, so that was put in, I have to test that. So it's alive, that's still down there. That shouldn't be there. That shouldn't be there. So this is to get committed. Okay, wow. If that committed everything, that would be unbelievable. Now we need to, so that was the buttons at the bottom. And by the way, there were so many bugs that was in my community. So part of my content creation is going to be ideas. I see it in every chat. I see it in every chat. Bro, what are you building? What's an idea? I need to make money. Start replacing stuff you are spending money on. That's the best way to start. Where are you spending money? Do you know that Spotify, it was like 40% of new podcasts are all AI? It was like some ridiculous statistic. What is very interesting, go to Moonshot's podcast. Anytime it's released, you synthesize the transcript, you take it and you say, how does that apply to real life? Because unfortunately, the guys on the podcast, the 4 guys on the podcast, I like because it's very high level, but most people in the comments are like, bro, you're just doom and gloom right now. So now this is not working because the character count is not going up. I don't look at this as failed. I look at this the way Elon did with rockets, sometimes my screenshots do not actually screenshot. I have an Apple. Is Claude enough? I think so. I think Real Tracks and can answer all of your questions. He's definitely in the no more than I am. I am the product guy. I am not the Dario. I personally think Anthropic is the only way. They just have a sense of, they have an intuition. They also have a hunger. For them to partner with Elon Musk, while Elon and Sam Altman are in a literal lawsuit with each other right now. Dude, that's Apple and Microsoft in the 90s. That is Steve Jobs versus, what's his face from Microsoft. Like, it's, all right, so that's broken. The actual prompt or something in the background was broken. I want you to look into it and make sure that the proposal or mock-up prompt or however it's actually created is fixed. And where do you see gaps in either the design or how it's actually created? It's very important because it needs to provide inspiration, ideas, motivation for them to start a proposal. Or at least get excited. Why didn't Elon make Grok good instead of investing in Anthropic? Yeah, so Moonshots had a very interesting angle on that. They said that, and I think someone from the product team at XAI, but now it's SpaceX AI, rebranding by Elon, kind of like when he was naming his cars. Moonshots had a very interesting take. They think that it was so bad that they needed the servers to potentially use a China open weight model and then use the Cursor team to be competitive. I could see that as realistic. I thought somebody in the product team actually said that. I thought someone in the product team at XAI actually said that. I could be wrong, allegedly, but that makes sense. Where Anthropic is, go back to 2024 when 1 billion people joined ChatGPT, and look at where we are now. Everything is humming on levels we couldn't even imagine. It's literally building me a website for free to inspire others automatically to potentially create a proposal. I created a community that's automated, that has a For You page based on Obsidian, and each user's customized. I can live stream. Do you understand that everything is getting democratized? That means democratized and decentralized are the two best words to use. That's Peter Diamandis. That's what he says. He's on the Moonshots podcast. That means anyone at any time in the world with an internet connection can build anything. A guy was in my comments. He's in India, rural India or Africa. And he's like, I had 2 failed businesses. I'm using an open source model and I just created something for a local business and now I'm employed. I'm just saying, like, that is the future. That is the future. Where are your subscriptions? I saw a subscription, Claude subscription. Why didn't Elon make Grok is already good? It's easy to jailbreak Grok. Is it really? Not useful for vibe coding. Yeah, it'll be interesting what they use with Cursor. I think it's the same thing when they bought DeepMind. When Google bought DeepMind, they're buying the team. Facebook, it's Steinberger, who created Clawbot, Claudebot, I should say. They're buying Steinberger. You know, there's another guy that was offered like $1 trillion or $1 billion, and he turned it down. Like, right now, intelligence is the only way forward. And I've said it before, is that whoever prompts better wins. Whoever prompts better wins. I will stand on that. Because if you have a vision, you need to be able to go and then think. This is as old as Plato's cave. You need time to sit, envision. What are you building? Where are my subscriptions? Print out your bank account and say, where am I paying money? Can I build a Spotify so I don't pay for Spotify? Yeah, you can, actually. You can build your own playlists based on AI. Spotify is doing this, allegedly, illegally, right now. Because do you pay money to huge music companies every time you play the song, or do you create your own stuff? Come on. You know, this is a high IQ outfit. This isn't like, you know, by the way, this should have been, okay, so that was the two businesses. The iCharles is essentially the inspiration. The Botensten.com is the enterprise of making reality what people are thinking. I talked about it on the stream before. Okay, so the good news, it still does that refresh. The sent proposal's good. This one's terrible. This is a very bad one. I think it was in the middle of doing it. Okay, so that I fixed yesterday. Turned it into a mobile screen where you can scroll. That button needs to be much better. It's in the middle of a build, so. And they took away the email. I don't like that. I don't like that. People are going to come to the community for, let's see what the minimize. Okay. I like that. That's a good one. So you can minimize it. I don't like how they added this back in. Sign in. That should be at the bottom. That should be at the bottom. And it's obviously over the, that's a waste of space right there. That's a waste of space. All right, we'll let that go. There is a fine line between creating something that people love and, yeah, the next, I had the idea yesterday. The idea yesterday was create a cursor for gyms. You know, Lifetime Fitness, create a Lifetime Fitness cursor where they can manage every single gym in a better system than what they are paying for right now. Create a cursor for real estate agents where they can control and do their own websites by speaking it into existence instead of drag and drop. Drag and drop is over. Drag and drop is over. That's over. Automation is the only way forward. You know, automation is going to get to a level that we can't even comprehend. It's going to get to a level where robots are your personal assistant. It's doing whatever you want. Any errands, dropping off packages, picking up something from the store, going shopping for you, driving you around. It's going to be self-driving cars, but you're going to be sitting next to your assistant, learning. Do I like it? I don't know. Because there is never a satiation. I said it yesterday. There's never a true satiation of human desire. It is a bottomless pit. By the way, Real Tracks, I don't know if you're in the chat, but you got mentioned in Grok right here. Tracksaw 8H, because his browser is in UTC +8. Now spin up the work tree. Oh boy. And I was banging around yesterday. Look at that. I had 2, 4, 5. I had 10 windows open, just crushing the bugs. Crushing the bugs. This is something built. Yesterday I also built this, where you could select it and then say I have 8 or 9 things. I could select it, and then a window pops up right here. Let's look at this. Look at what I built yesterday. You select it, look at this window. I could copy all 3 of these into Claude as a prompt and then bang out all 3 of those in parallel or in chronological order, whatever's better. The working on is essentially verifying that the active bug was actually fixed. And then I can move it between any of the... That's the future. The future is someone puts in a bug and then sure enough, it's handled immediately. You know, the Bridgemind guy has it sent to an email or sent to a Discord, then he copies it, puts it into his window, fixes it right then and there. That's not the future. That's not the future. The future is automation. All right, so once this guy on the right is done, we also have to do the video. Let's do this right now. The video has to be upgraded. Has to be upgraded. All right, let's clear the screen. Let's bring this over. Let's put that in there. All right, so why is video important? I don't know where anyone lives, okay? But I live in New York City. We only have transportation. This user experience needs to be better. Back to live, I think there needs to be a permanent top nav. I think there has to be a permanent top nav. So I'm impersonating somebody right now. I'm not a fake person. So if I go to videos, I don't think this worked either. I tried to clip it yesterday as well. Trending this week, I like that. More to explore, I like that. So this is all built on AI. It's not true AI, but so those are created bookmarks, I think, by me. I shouldn't be able to see other people's. So that has to be consistent. The top nav has to be consistent. Live, that's only when I'm live. Nobody's live. Past live streams, I like that. Yeah, this top nav has to be persistent. Let's screenshot this. Yeah, especially with the search videos. Let's bring this down here. All right. But most importantly, we got to go to the live stream. This is look at that freaking guy. This is the interface of a video. We're going to be working on this. The back to live, which is below the video, remove that. Then there's a button called reply. Remove that. We don't need that. The playlist, share, and bookmark icons, move that to the duration peak viewers row. The follow button, move to the left next to the username. Have the ability for the live stream to be edited, which means the description, the title. Also put in a top navigation that I have included in the screenshots. Make sure that's persistent throughout the videos area, including the playlists. And the playlists should have the left navigation, main navigation as well, the playlists page. Also, when someone creates a playlist, make sure it is only visible to that user. That's what I mean right there. Whoever prompts better wins. Whoever prompts better wins. All right, let's get this up here. All right, moving on. It would be interesting if Google actually, someone said that Gemini is coming out. I think they're going to be right up there with Anthropic, to be honest. They have the smartest minds. I had a buddy that worked there. They bought a building, I think it was $2.5 billion or $3.2 billion maybe a decade ago. And I was like, what a dumb purchase. We don't have anyone. We just have finance, fashion, and that's it. Now we have a huge technology sector in New York City. And that building is locked down. I went to the YouTube area and no filming, crazy IDs. You had someone in the elevator that followed you, cameras everywhere. I had a buddy that tried to work there. I think he went through 10 interviews. I had another guy that beat him. He went through 12 interviews to go into a private equity firm. Goldman Sachs sees AI profit inflection within a year. Look at this. This is crazy. The S&P hit and then talk about in the news. The S&P hit a wild record this week. It is built solely on the expectation that the top 500 companies, or at least the companies that they're investing in, is going to continue. Goldman Sachs released a report on May 5th, 2 days ago, arguing that artificial intelligence industry is at the cusp of a transformation from a cost-heavy infrastructure to a profit-generating business with gross margins. This is what I'm saying, is anyone, anywhere, there's going to be a one-person, $1 billion business if there hasn't been already. Like, and I don't mean valued. I mean profit or revenue, not profit, revenue. 100%. 100%. Logistics, travel, healthcare, finance, real estate. Those are the big boys. Entertainment. Entertainment. You got to go into entertainment, or you got to become a creator. That's it. That's it, boys. That's all you got to do. But you have to learn the basics of entrepreneurship, brainstorming, ideas, being able to look at the world differently, to be objective in your thinking, to not be a victim to your circumstances. Continuing on the news, it's like Anthropic is dropping release after release. So now they have dreaming. Dreaming happens at night, goes over essentially all the memory in between sessions, and learns. Pretty much like a human brain does already during sleep. It says, what did I do during this day? How do I get better tomorrow? That's why sleep is very important. There's a book, unbelievable book, Why We Sleep. I read that, I think, twice. Here we go. There you go. I look at this as opportunity. If Salesforce is worried about me, they're not. But like the individual person who's going to build something that's worth $500 million and takes $500 million away from Salesforce, they're a public company. Mark Benioff should be a little bit scared. They really offered no services at the highest level. I'm spending $2,000 for one person a year. I had no website with them, that was extra. I had no email management, that was extra. I had no AI, that was extra. It's like, yeah, you're the king dog like Adobe, but then Figma comes along, and then Adobe is like, we'll buy you. And then they back out of the deal. They gave Figma, I think, $1 billion because they backed out of the deal. And now Figma's scared because of how good Claude, OpenAI, Gemini hopefully will be. You know, the idea is the only way forward. That I'm going to start making that. Yeah, the reason that NVIDIA is behind is because NVIDIA's stock is through the roof. Nobody's worried about NVIDIA. Nobody's worried about NVIDIA. Dude, that's exactly what Elon is trying to do. The rockets with the servers and the software. I think there's something in the deal with Anthropic where SpaceX AI is going to be, it's obviously on their servers, so they're training their servers. There's got to be some deal in there where they can see and be able to train their own models. There has to be. You bring Cursor on board, $50 billion. Now you have Anthropic on board. You build the servers. Anthropic needs the servers. You need the software. You have the rockets. And they have the robots. Like, Anthropic is, we build everything on top of us. That's Anthropic's, everything else is on top of us. Cursor's on top of us. All these companies are on top of us. That's why I think they, all right, let's see. These guys are spinning right now. Unless they're trying to both. We'll pause that one. Oh, it's going through smoke test? Continue that in a second. Generate step longer than 180 seconds timeout. Wait, the timeout is 180. We're now 2:30. Let me wait briefly. Okay, so actually that's looking to commit, so we'll put that out. So this is about the videos. These are 3 very important builds. Today, once I'm done live streaming, I am gonna hammer out my content, videos being edited down, and I'm just throwing out content. It's gonna be, I'm all in. I have to be. I also need a deal to go through so I can continue doing this. Otherwise, you gotta go back to BridgeMind and look at his AAR. That's what it comes down to. Rare Earth, this is an IPO that's very exciting. Very exciting. Everything pretty much comes in from China. This is a very interesting idea. Very interesting that pure managers are obsolete. In other words, everyone's got a manager. What if you're managing just AI? Okay, so now that's going. All right. You're managing AI. Every person is trained through a markdown file with guardrails, and that thing does customer service, or that is just trained for referrals, or that is just trained for design, thumbnails, blogs, anything, security. We already have that, but you have people managing the AI, and then there's a manager above the people managing the AI. What if there's just one person managing all the AI? And it's not a manager, it's just the person who manages all the security AI. I have a buddy who works at a major bank. He does security for them. And he was telling me some stories, which is outrageous how hard they're getting hit. These banks are getting crushed right now. They are getting crushed. All right, so that's this one right over here. This needs to commit. So that's waiting, that's generating something in the back end. There's also, yeah, I need this as well to be under. No, this menu is terrible. That did not do the menu I wanted. So essentially that's the back end for people that are, let's move this down here. Okay, we need a redesign of the menu right now. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Let's go with, because this is what I see. And then this is what the user sees. All right, we need a redesign right here. Wow, and then it brings in the menu on that is very inconsistent. That is very inconsistent. Okay, so we'll close that down. Any bugs? Nope. Claude, how we doing? Oh, yellow. We're fine, we're humming. They doubled our rate limits. All right, so the admin area, anything with the admin /admin has the admin menu. Then anything that is boatenston.com / anything after that is, see the admin, it's weird that it put that there. And it also has it on the left side. No, we're not. Do I have to have double menus? I might need double menus. Yeah. Or I do it floating. I think I do it floating. Which one is better? Yeah, I think we do it floating. Because I'm not going to spend so much time in the admin area. I'm going to spend a lot of time in this area right here. Okay, let's do this. We have to do a menu reorganization. This is very important. This is all in the screenshots. If you are on boatenston.com, me as the admin, I see the upper right admin area on any page within boatenston.com, and it is minimized. You could see that from boatenston.com /proposals. Then what you need to do is remove, on the left screenshot, you can see there's a left main navigation where it says developers and mockups. You need to remove the developers and mockups because we already have that on the right menu. And also obviously remove the word admin on the left navigation. On the bottom left of the boatenston.com left navigation, you could leave the admin owner builder there, but remove the admin area button. This is on the bottom left, admin area button, and the sign out, because we already have that on the upper right. All right, let's put that in. Now let's talk about mockups. Anywhere within boatenston.com /admin, there is a right menu. Right now, that is a double menu on what we are actually creating with the floating right admin menu. So we don't need that right menu. Actually, no. How do I want to do this? You know what? When I'm in boatenston.com /admin, I have, how am I gonna do this? This is interesting. So this is the developers who are allowed and confirmed. This is the mock-ups. Got it. So these are all the mock-ups that were created. Sign-in links, proposals. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. Projects. Unless I just have the admin on the left side. Yeah. Or I enter the admin area. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna move, because that goes there. That goes there. That's weird. All right, let me think about that for a second. All right, let's see where these guys are at. All right, I think we're all done. Is this guy done? Come on. Wow, still going. Are you hallucinating right now? They're still going. You haven't committed? Visual. Okay, so this was about the videos. This video page. Let's refresh. Much cleaner. Holy cow. Much cleaner. So essentially we moved the comment. Oh, wow. That's a bug, if I've ever seen a bug. Starting to record when you post a... Okay. Let's see if the reply... I also want you to remove the option to upload a image in the video area. We don't need that. And this is what? Mention someone, insert a timestamp. I don't think we need to repost it. Let's see if that actually reposted with a quote. Does that go to the feed? Yeah, that's a bad, absolute chaos going on down there. Let's go over there. All right, so this also needs to be up over here, unless this is on the same row as right there. And there's also, okay, so it added in the button. Okay. Playlists, nope, playlist should be, okay, I haven't created a playlist, okay. That should also have the video. Top nav needs the top nav, the top video nav. Let's go over here. Okay, so let's go on an individual video. Okay, that was a live stream. Let's see, have I uploaded a video or I've only live streamed? Let's go to the live stream. Okay, so it actually looks better now. I mentioned it. Let's move these icons to the right of the follow button. And there's still no edit button as well. There's still no edit button. All right, this needs to be a very specific. Okay, this one. We need to remove the ability for users in the post or in the replies to upload images. Also, when people are reposting, what happens to the repost? Does it go repost to their profile and to the feed? Or does it get reposted within the video? If it goes reposted within the video, that's a dumb feature. If it gets reposted to the feed, then that's a good feature. I also want you to move the 3 icons of the bookmark, share, and create playlist to the right of the follow button. Put some space in between it, but don't make it go on the right side. Just put some space in between the follow and the 3 icons. Also, when I do a mention, a lot of chaos happens when I do a mention or a reply to a comment. What are the other things as well? Have I ever created? That's also off. That's a small thing, but that's also off. Also, when I mouse over the 3 buttons, you can see from the screenshot, the background is not centered. All right. Let's continue. So that's going to go up here. Let's see if I could create a playlist. I don't like that. That thing follows me everywhere. That weird dash. What is that? What is that weird dash? Did I already do 5 screenshots? I don't like the 5 screenshot thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I have way more. Oh, did they lift that? I thought VS Code had a... Also, you can see when I'm creating a playlist, there's this weird black dash that goes around it. Eliminate that and make sure nowhere in the build on iCharles community has that weird black dash around anything. I saw that throughout the build. That is a terrible CSS or UI that was implemented. It was like you're leaving a comment on a video and the thing has this black thing around it. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, wow. I like that feature. All right, let's see if that was actually added. Did I go to Chuck? Okay. Okay, it says it was added. Let's go to playlists. Let's refresh. Okay. That should be a drop-down menu. Okay, we'll clean that up. We'll clean that up. We'll clean up playlists. That should be a drop-down menu. Also, the playlist at the top should be a drop-down menu when you click it. And then when you go on the playlist page, there should be some kind of thumbnail of the most recent video within the thumbnail of the playlist. All right, I think that's enough. I think that's enough. What was this about? This was, okay, this is the menu. I got to think about this. So when a person submits a proposal project, so the workspace, you know what? I think what I want to do is just have a left nav, a permanent left nav. And then when it goes deep, then it goes to the right or the top. In other words, the sub-menus. And then I really want to start working on proposals and projects. I really do. Because that's a weird, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so this guy's going to get eliminated. The admin is going to be moved down here. Okay, I like that idea. I'm gonna remove all of this. Anything on botensten.com is going to have a left navigation, and it's going to be as the following. At the top is just going to be the members navigation, which is proposals and projects, and then towards the bottom moving up is going to be the admin area and menu options. You could see the admin at the top. I want that removed and put towards the bottom, the very bottom. And in the botensten.com/admin, and any page after that has a right menu. Remove that right menu because we don't need that anymore. And then you also have a floating upper right menu. Remove that as well. Unless you think that we should have that towards the bottom left. And when I click it, the admin menu expands up to show all the menu options. There's also something with the log out. Get that pasted in there. Oh, come on, don't tell me that. Okay. Look at that. That's something I gotta put in today. Spell my name right for one time in a generation, please. All right, let's get that out. All right, this is, oh crap. Did I not put that in the, okay, no, I did. Oh yeah, that is, known caveats. Generate is slower. Sonnet took 6 minutes. No, we're not doing that. Cost shifted from 0 to 5 cents to 15 cents per run. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? All right, let's try it. Let's see what it produces. Let's see what it produces. Any bugs? Any messages? Nope. All right. Let's go over here. Let's try it out. Boatenston.com. That's a bad. This is obviously bad as well, but we're testing just for the generate. Just for the generate. All right. I like how it has it like this, show the details, so it's very clean. Ooh, I like that. Except that's a double. Which one should we keep? I think we should keep this one. Yeah, we'll remove that. We'll remove that. And then open a window in a new tab is like barely visible. Holy cow. What are you doing, brother? All right, what does this say? Yeah, I don't think that's the user experience anymore, so we could delete that image. What is this one? Oh yeah. As you can see from the screenshots, there is double email inputs. I want you to remove the one from the top navigation, and then the row to the right of the top area where you input the email has an open a new window. That button must go to the top navigation, and it has to stand out way more so people understand that. And on the main Boatenston.com, I want you to move the top right sign in area and anything else that's under the button for the mockups, the floating right button on the mockups, move that to the bottom footer, and then in other words, there should be no top navigation. Leave the floating right footer. All right. Let's see. All right, boys and girls. Let's go back. Coinbase CEO. Dude, so it's the same guys just scratching each other's backs. Okay, it's reading the brief. See, reading the brief should not be this long. Let's see what Open Router did. All right, $10, 15 cents. That was 60. Okay, I don't know what that one was. No, we're not doing this. Reading the brief took that long. This thing better be an absolute banger. We'll wait on that. We'll see what's going on in the background. Go over some more news. Admin members. Okay, so this was the admin area for my members on iCharles.com. Let's put this over there. There we go. I think I want to look at that over here because that has all the members. Let's go over here. Admin should be at the bottom. Okay, it looks much better. So this is the home page of the admin. Very clean. Always have a main nav on the left side, and then you have the sub nav or sub menu on the right, because most people's screens are big enough. Let's see what it produces, because this thing is humming with my tokens right now. All right, let's go to menu. Wow. Yeah, no, that doesn't look good at all. That doesn't look good at all. I got to screenshot that. That is brutal. Let's make sure this is up. All right. That was brutal. Yeah, we don't need that. Oh, I forgot to. Close that out, close that out. Okay. Take a screenshot of this. Holy cow. Let's remove that one. We are going to be working on the icharles.com/community/admin/members. That is an absolute brutal interface. The top third is stuff that I am not going to be using at all, especially when I go to the members area. I also need on the left side the actual action button next to each member. There's also just way too much gap between each of the members, and there's also an inconsistent spacing within each of the rows. This has to be much better when it comes to the user experience for me. Wow. I won't show it because it has people's email addresses, but it ain't looking good. We'll just say that. All right, so this is the admin. This is the admin page. Let's go back to here. Oh man, this is way too long. This is 5 minutes. This is just, it's unnecessary. Unnecessary. And then this is what it produces. Way too advanced. Way too advanced. And it didn't even fit in the window. Way too advanced. And it still does that refresh. And there's no menu options. Oh, it's right here. The leads, open houses, follow-ups. Yeah. We need to... And then right here as well. Yeah. This needs... Man, we were humming last night, I should say. And then we just are spending more on tokens. This goes up in here. Let's go over here. And this needs to go up there. These things need to go to the top menu option. Let's do that. Let's do that. And it still does that weird refresh. It still does that weird refresh. All right, we're gonna bring this down. Let's go over here. Let's go all the way at the bottom so I can see what I'm doing. So we need to look into the weird refresh that keeps on going on when a mockup is created. It is still persistent. We also need to move the bottom right action items, use this in a proposal, polish this mockup, and try a new angle. You need to move that to the top navigation. Also, the open in new tab needs to be to the left of send me a proposal. The send me proposal should be in the middle, and the open in new tab should actually be to the right of that. And the 3 bottom right action items are to the right of the your mockup ready top navigation. There needs to be 3 things that go on. One is it should not take over 5 to 6 minutes. This is a mockup that is good enough on free models for them to get inspiration. There also needs to make sure that it is responsive in any screen size, because right now I scroll right and left. It should be, that's very important. It's responsive in any screen size. Also, I don't like black backgrounds when you are creating mockups. And the refresh needs to be looked into. Okay, that's a big prompt right there. We need it just good enough that people get inspired to start a proposal. And then we also need to have the area over here. Let's go over here. This over here. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so that's adding to the, what does this guy want? For the chaos that happened when I mentioned a reply, I can see composer. I don't know, figure that out. No idea, figure that out and test it. Then take a screenshot and see for yourself. Okay, so that's the admin area right here. The admin area right there is right here. All right, let's refresh. Okay, this needs to be at the bottom. This needs to be at the bottom. And then that goes away. No, it needs the exact same. It needs the exact same menu option. Yeah, it needs the exact same menu option. And the admin button at the bottom should not be there. All right, let's go over here. All right. Let's go there. All right, now let's prompt this bad boy. I just took a screenshot. What we need to do is a deep dive on the menus and all Botenstein.com sub-menus and sub-pages. The exact same left main navigation will be available on any Botenstein.com sub-page or page underneath that. It's going to be persistent throughout. I went to developers and mockups and sign-in links, and then, yeah, actually that's good. We'll just delete that. So when I go to the developer mockup sign-in links, it's going to be persistent throughout. Okay. The admin button at the bottom left does not need to be there because I already have all the access on the left admin navigation. So remove the bottom left admin area button. And also move the admin menu towards the bottom. Just above, try as. Okay. So let's send that out. Send it, dude. All right, let's get this back up here. Community. We also want to move the personal and the admin to the bottom. And the search needs to be a pop-out somewhere instead of a page. Let's do that now. All right, is this guy done? Because we gotta start cooking. Nope. Okay, this was reorganize the Botenstein. Okay. Build admin management. Yes. Okay, so that's there. Redesign the interface for the video. That's still going. All right, let's go over here. Let's go over here. All right, now this is going to be the Botenstein menu options. Or I'm sorry, the iCharles menu options. So this is going to be here. How are we going to do this? How do we do this? How are we going to do this? Let's put this in here. Goals for today. Let's do. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's bring this down. Actually, I don't like bringing it down. Let's tighten it up so I can see the menu when I'm prompting it. Okay. For the menu options on the left main navigation, personal and admin, put below the earn button. And then the search should be a pop-out modal or a pop-up modal. That's even better, a pop-up modal, where it is a search of the entire public community area that user has access to. Obviously, they don't have access to things that are behind permission walls, but it should be a live search. So in other words, as they type, things start popping up and it is organized with bold rows. If it's a video, if it's a space, if it is a member, in other words, when I type into Salesforce, there's a main area on what I am searching for underneath, if that makes any sense. You have the category. So you have the category and then the sub underneath that category of what matches the search criteria. I don't think it got that at all, but we'll send it anyway. I'm also thinking of putting Chuck or the member's profile, put that somewhere else. Maybe at the bottom. All right, let's see what the video looks like. All right, test. The playlist should have, let's refresh. Yeah, the playlist should have the video. Are these still, yeah, that's still going. That is the admin. Okay, here it is. Below search, above Chuck profile. No, below Chuck profile. This should be main nav becomes search. It is below earn. I can't. There we go. Admin and personal. Let's go to other. Let's go personal and admin in that order is below the earn 50% off button. That's as obvious as it gets. Now, have at it. Okay, this was the admin members area. All right. Yeah, the admin members area was an absolute joke. Okay, it's getting better. Make builder, I don't even know what that means. Okay. All right, that's much better. I also don't want it in a, I also don't want it in this weird frame. Yeah, let's get this up here. This is the admin members area. I can't show it to you because it has, actually I could show you this. This is what the admin area looks like. This and this should be up at the top. This should be at the top. This should all be one main navigation. All of this should be one main. This should even be a drop down. Any builder. Okay, so see how it has that weird black dash? I don't know why it has that. This should be a drop down menu. Okay, let's do this. Let's tighten this up even more. The top navigation, you shouldn't have any of this within a actual gray container. There needs to be a top navigation that includes every single one of the items that I'm about to say. And then also, I don't want the members area within the weird container it is. So you have a container within a container. That is terrible. So the top navigation is going to include everything, including the members, the search, emails, masked, export, test, and then the all active, trialing, canceled, blocked, inactive is a drop-down menu. And then any comp, any builder, any role, any time needs to also be at the top. But again, that is just crowding up the space so much. So maybe there's a drop-down menu or something that says filters, and then I can filter it. So it's a drop-down menu of all the filters, and then a sub drop-down menu or a sub menu of each of the menu options that I just mentioned. And also, there needs to be a right and left scroll. If you cannot tighten up the columns enough, yeah, let's just send that out. This looks like crap. But we have people joining, so I can't not pay attention to this. And like we have 16 right now. We had 0 2 weeks ago. All right. Oh my gosh, are you still asking where this stupid thing is? How should the search modal search on, yeah, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Always visible, search bar at the top. No, that's stupid. Click search only. Modal opens when the user clicks the search nav item. Yeah, sure, have a shortcut. It doesn't, that's dumb, but whatever. If it makes you happy, we'll put in a shortcut. Uh-oh, this guy froze. Oh my gosh, that was, all right. Everything. I wanted to members, spaces, videos, posts, chat messages. No, not chat messages. Smart ranked single list. No category items. One single ranked by, I don't know, what's better? Categories? I think it's categories. Categories is better. 100%. 100%. Because otherwise it's chaos. You're like, you have a video, then you have a member. All right, so it's gonna be, let's see. Let's see what we have available. All right, let's go to other. It is gonna be posts. It is gonna be spaces. And space is posts. Videos. Members. Videos, I already put. Let's see what else it asked for. And it's gonna be categorized 100%. 5 category groups, members, spaces. Yeah, and it will be categorized. And it's categorized based on intelligence of what you think the user is searching for based on their obsidian memory and what is usually searched most for. What category is usually searched? Definitely not messages. We're not going to search messages. That's just, you just go to the message area. You just go to messages and there it is. See all the messages. Dude, that is so clean. That is so clean. Okay. Wow, it's really, see, look at this search right now. You click on it, you go to a page. And let's see, it doesn't even work. Video. Yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of clean right there. I like that. That's interesting. That's interesting. I never actually used that. All right, let's see what the videos look like. That was being used right here. Okay, this was my live stream yesterday. Okay, much cleaner. Much cleaner. This needs to be above, much cleaner than what it was today. There's still no edit button though. There's still no edit button. Redesign the video interface that's over here. Let's remove the 75%. You know what's annoying about Claude? They literally, is this done already? It's got it. Yeah, that context window's got to be popping up pretty soon. The email capture form now lives only at the bottom. What's next? Okay, what's live? All right, let's test it again. Let's see. All right. Top nav is gone. That's good. Here's the mock-ups. I own a restaurant. Let's generate. Let's have that run in the background. Okay. See, generating the brief should be, okay, good. That was quick. That was quick. That was quick. Now it's building the page based on the brief. The biggest thing is it wasn't responsive to any screen size. That's huge. That's massive. Because then you have no confidence in building anything. All right, we'll have that run in the background. We'll see what that looks like. The video needs to be, on the videos page, you need to have the comment form above the comments. All right, what else? Also, there still is no edit button for the user who uploaded the video. The edit button, you'd be able to delete the video, edit the title and description, and the visibility of the video. The visibility of the video is only available to me as the administrator. Okay, there we go. Send it. Oh my gosh, bro. Asking me, it's a search. Search. You're asking me all this. What signal drives the per user category ranking? Activity profile. Yeah, it's both. Come on, brother. I hate how it comes up every single time. It's like, bro, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing, bro? Uh-oh. Botenston.com. Botenston.com admin. Calling all Botenston. Let's see if this is... All right. It says 4 minutes is the most. It says 4 minutes is the most. So that was working on this. So it took away the top right nav. Has a weird... Okay, that's how I am viewing it. This needs to be down here. This needs to be away as well. That was what this chat was working on right here. I don't know why. I might... Okay, so it did produce something. It still is not responsive. And it's still... Did I even send that out? I might need to just do a separate. And it still has that stupid... Oh my gosh. This page is so ugly. This button, so I just sent that out. The open a new window. Okay, so it looks good here, but it's not responsive. It also has a black background. You can't see anything. Made with Botenston.com. All right, let's see if this is even responsive. Okay. Not really. Yeah, because you could scroll the recent leads. Wonder if, how I could use a Git or something in the background. Some kind of skill. I was trying to use impeccable, but it was just not, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. All right. This, holy cow. You are asking so many questions on this stupid search. Just create a search like, hello, have you... Okay, should the existing community search page stay or be retired? I think a modal only retire. Like, you know what? That's a good question. Should I have it where they search, a pop-up modal pops up, and then it drops down, and then at the bottom it says all search results, and then it goes to that page? Yeah, that's a good idea. The pop-up modal will have the most popular or most relevant to that user, maybe 2 to 3 items per category. Make sure that it's not below the fold. And then at the top, the first result is all results. And if they click that, they go to the search page, and the search page brings in all of the results categorized into the tab system that you already have. Okay, please. Just build this darn search thing, please. Oh my gosh. Trigger parity. Should the sidebar and open the same modal or different surfaces? Same modal. What? Okay, just build it, please. Just build it. Okay. So now we have a final menu option, hopefully. Okay, much better, much better, much better. Now we could start working on this. Now we can start working. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now that we got the menus, developers. Oh my gosh. Brother. Unless we just leave that there. Yeah, let's just mock-ups. Oh, so this is the actual prompt that it's going through. That should be a sub-menu up here. You know what? Let's do that right now. Should we retire this chat? Should we retire this? Yeah, this context window is probably getting pretty big. All right. Yep. Cool Dad has entered the chat. Cool Dad has entered the chat. Is that a self-proclaimed cool dad? Or are you the cool dad for the block? Congratulations on being a father. One day I wish to obtain that title as well. Cool Dad, what are we building? We have I built this community right here. And it's essentially people that are vibe coders, designers, software engineers, solopreneurs, people that are sharing ideas, vibe coding, building their own stuff, ideas. Hey, listen, this is new. We should do this. This is a better user experience. How does my website look like? Kind of like that. And then we have Botenston.com. Botenston.com is the thorn in my side right now, but it is going to give my personal website the drive and inspiration that AI, because it's looked down upon, you can build anything you want. This is my personal website right here. 17 years in brokering New York City real estate turned into a vibe coder. And this is still drafting. That's still, well, at least that was changed. Okay, it's gonna come. Okay, it'll do that. Yeah, this is donezo. This needs to be stopped. Stopped. All right, where's this? So it's essentially getting people excited that they could build anything they want or have someone else build anything for them that they need. That's the biggest thing, is that people have no idea how it could help them, or best way to say it. Thanks, man. My kids think I'm cool for now. I love it. I love AI. Built a couple of personal projects myself. Exactly. I have built all of the software where I have services. Make sure the current background AI build or mock-up is killed before going on. It's at 7 minutes right now. Okay, so I am, perfect example, I got 3 people. I know a lot of entrepreneurs. I'm in New York City. I know tons of entrepreneurs. I know a woman who's a dietitian. I know a woman who's a personal trainer. I know a guy who is a real estate agent. Obviously, being in the industry for 17 years, they pay so much money on this terrible software. It's not automated. They go to Squarespace for their website. They go to MailChimp for their email. They go to Salesforce for their CRM. They go to Riverside.com for their video editing. Then they go to Opus Clips for their Nothing talks to each other. It's all chaos. So I want to go to my girlfriend not girl space friend, who is a dietitian. She's married. I want to go to her and say, hey, listen, I know you're a dietitian and you use all these 5 services. You use this to book your clients, this to run the payment method. And you have no area that's all centralized, where you have in mid-area, and you can email your clients. You can have personalized dietitian AI. I'm the ideas guy. And the ideas guy essentially means You could have a coach. This is what I thought about yesterday. You could have a coach for anything. Hey, I'm a real estate agent and I pay my coach $1,100, which I used to do every single month. And we have a 30-minute call once a week, which I did. And he's at the XYZ organization, one of the biggest ones in the country, if not the biggest one in the country, well known to every single real estate agent. And he doesn't know all of my numbers. He scans it, but he's got 13 calls that day. Well, why don't you have a specialized AI agent using one of the open sources from OpenRouter, and you have personalized coaches? I have that for triathlon. My triathlon coach rips through my run, bike, and swim, and my sleep, because it's connected to my Oura Ring. It rips through all that and then gives me a personalized, oh, I saw you had bad sleep. I know you're gonna run for an hour today. Let's do 45 minutes and then a stretch. Or instead of 2,000 yards in the pool, you do 1,500. That's a coach. But my human coach for triathlon couldn't do that. It's impossible for her to rip through all of her triathletes who are coached by her, rip through all their Garmin data and give them a personalized plan. It was a drag and drop. Drag and drop is done. Automation is the only way forward. So you have the right idea, where you build your own personal stuff and then you give it to people. You ship it. Or you have them pay for it. Okay, so this was the left nav. Now we need, oh wow. That was absolute AI slop that it just provided, but granted it was in the middle of doing something. All right, let's go back here. This was the back end. Now, let's see if the search is asking me. Does the design end-to-end? Yes, dude, you need to stop asking me questions and you need to start building. All right, let's send that on its very merry way, because that's just really bothering me. Top nav, this is for the admin area for my members. Okay. Yeah, this looks better. All of it should be on the same row. I can't show you the members area because that's the back end, but of the members. All of this needs to be on the top navigation row. You are still now compiling on top of each other. This needs to be one single row of members and all the filters. Also, you clearly did not take a screenshot of the drop-down menus, because when you highlight one of the areas, it does not show what the text is in the background. Also, you need to move the reset all and done to the top row with the filters. Again, the members and the search members and all of the test status filters, mass export, all have to be on the exact same row. All right, let's send that out. Because we're getting members now that, you know, the live streams are going out. All right, this was the redesign of the video. This is very important because I'm going to start making content today. Nope, refresh. The post button needs to be right there. This needs to be tightened up. Holy moly cannoli in a guacamole. And there's still no edit button. Bro, why are you not listening to me? Edit modal. Are you taking screenshots or am I taking screenshots for you? Okay, I need you to go to this area. I need you to listen to me. I need you to listen to me. And you need to go into here. All right. All right, let's go here. And then this needs to go over here so I know what I'm talking about. Let's move that over there. All right, let's go. All right, we need to fire out a final prompt. I don't know if you're taking screenshots or not. Make sure that it's in the Claude and or memory markdown files, as one of the most important things to do every single time before you commit. You have to take a screenshot to make sure that what was said in the last prompt and coded, you took a screenshot to make sure it was done. For example, there still is no edit button to the left of the Create Podcast bookmark icon row. Also, the comments are in a complete disarray when it comes to the icons. They need to be spaced better. The text for the comment needs to be 2 pixels larger, and the actual comments and the actual commenters need to be 2 pixels bigger, or maybe 1 pixel. And then bring the share and 3 horizontal bubbles in the comments all to the left side, unless you want to keep it on the right side, but it needs to be maybe moved to the upper right of the comment to make it a better user experience. And then the post, where you would post a comment, needs to be on the same row as the comment. Yeah. And then I'll add in for the description as well. And for the description, if the description is more than 3 rows, there is a see more text, and it expands the description, kind of how YouTube does it. All right, let's go. Let's send that out. Send it, brah. Let's send it, brah. All right, let's go over here. We'll leave the comment there. We'll bring this over here. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's see where we're at. Okay, this is the, okay, good. Now we can finally start building on the back end. Yeah, this needs to, the proposals need to be, okay, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this. Wow, this page needs to be cleaned up mightily. We gotta have a sub menu right here. All of this is on mockups. Let's send that out. Let's put this into here. And then the proposals. I don't know what pro proposals. Users who clicked free polished version. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's take a screenshot. These should be at the top, probably top nav or right nav. Maybe right nav. Yeah, probably the right nav. Let's minimize this so I don't click on that. We got to start putting out some content, Botenston. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right. There we go. Is it a replicate or cursor that you're using? This is VS Code, put out by Microsoft. Visual Studio, I think it's called. And I don't think I would pay for cursor. That's just wildly crazy expensive, man. It's crazy. And then I don't need, okay. So what I'm gonna do, so I can visualize this, let's bring this over here. All right, here we go. We need a right sub menu right here, floating. For the mockups, we need a right floating menu where the top main page when I go to mockups is the actual mockups. And it's a toggle between the hero mockups, which is the main page and tab. Then you go to the second tab, which is Pro Requests. And then the third tab, actually, let's delete that. There is no third tab because proposals doesn't need to be there because you already have proposals. Let's remove that. We also, on the mockups page, don't need proposals because we already have a proposals page. Then create a second menu option on the right side below mockups. Oh, the pro, those are hero mockups, then the pro requests, then the proposals. Pro requests, proposal requests, by the way, spell that out so I know what I'm looking at. Should that be on the proposals page? Or should that be in the heroes? You know what? We're gonna scrap it. We're gonna have the mockups submenu is gonna be mockups at the top. And the first one that we're gonna see is proposal requests as the first tab, then hero mockups as the second tab. Then the second menu option on the right floating menu is prompts. When I click prompts, I get active prompts along with models and config if that's real. If it's not, then delete it. And then test runner, tell me if that's real or not. And if not, then delete it. We just got to clean up. Yeah, buddy. Opus only. Opus 4.7 is so much better than 4.5, so much better than 4.6. There was a period after it was, oh, the whole thing didn't go out. There was a period right after it was launched where it was really dumb and it throttled. Dude, I would be 20 minutes, 30 minutes into a session and I would be at 40% of the 5-hour portion. I'm like, the hell is going on? And then 2 days ago, they announced, hey, yesterday they announced with a lot happened, okay? Cursor gets bought up by XAI. Elon yesterday rebranded XAI to SpaceX AI. Then they bought Cursor 2 weeks ago for $50 billion or 3 weeks ago. Then they did a deal with Anthropic. Elon is in a bout lawsuit with Sam Altman. And there's like romantic things that are going on in the background, people getting sued. Anthropic is going to come out on top. Google's doing a deal with Anthropic because Anthropic needs servers. Anthropic then said 2 days ago or yesterday, seeing that OpenAI is open mightily to scrutiny right now, even though they just launched 5.5. Everyone talks about how good their rate limits are. So then Anthropic is like, actually, I'm going to be even better. Like, I think I came in with I've had 5 windows open and just pounding Opus 4.7 for the last hour, 2 hours. Not one of these are above 50% context. I haven't had a hallucination yet. And let's see where I am on the session. Let's bring it up. Let's go to, I'm on obviously the max plan, but here's the usage. Dude, that's impossible. That is impossible. That's impossible. Like, that's impossible. How have I only used 12%? And that's the proof right there. I don't use Sonnet. That's my proof. That's actually the best proof. I never even thought about that. So when people are like, you're using... No, I'm not, actually. And I'm definitely not using Haiku. Haiku would have just exploded my computer. I can't believe that. I'm only at 12%. Unless they're, I don't know what they're doing. But they're fantastic now. Fantastic. All right, let's go to summary of changes. Summary of changes. Let's maximize this. Let's go to Bodenston.com. Let's try it out. Let's reload. Let's go in here. I sell real estate. I generate. Oh my gosh, come on now. It just generated something that I've already done. Yeah. Polish. Okay, you know what I need to do? It's based on my IP address. I need you to look at my IP address and put me on an infinite amount of mockups and only my IP address, because we're in testing mode and we need to make sure that it works and new mockups are generated before we can go public. We also need to take a visual. Actually, I'll do that with something else. I was going to say take a visual of the buttons, but we'll do that in another chat. All right, so this is the redesign of the video interface. So that was this guy right here. There has to be an edit button. Let's go refresh. Okay. So it moved it up there. I don't know what in the heck it's doing, bro. What are you doing? Why is there no... It's saying there's an edit button. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is literally the third time I'm saying there's no edit button. It's doing everything else but that. Brah, where's my edit button? Third time asking for an edit button. We need to add this in on the same row as the bookmarks and the playlists. You clearly did not take a screenshot of this URL, which I provided in the last prompt. All right, so the edit is massive. All right, this is the admin members. Okay, so this is down here. I can't show this because it has the admins. Finally, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But then you took away the right menu. Okay, it added in the search button. Okay. Okay. You took away the right menu option. I didn't want you to take away the right menu. Add that back in. And what columns do we not need? Like, we don't need the column for points, posts, and email. There we go. So now I could put that actually up. Make sure that's added to their actual member profile when I click on them, but visually, I only need the bare minimum columns. And also I want to be able to show this so you can see what I'm doing. All right, add a live search. Okay, so it added the search button. I see the search button, but it is, let's go with live. All right, that freaking thing needs to go away forever, ever. Okay, that needs to go away forever. That weird freaking... Do a deep dive and find out where on the build within iCharles has this weird black dash around it. Like, that needs to be completely banished from any design, whether it's in the design markdown file or somewhere. Anywhere where I click into a field and it has this black dashes around it needs to be eliminated. This should never be built into anything ever again, and eliminate anywhere within the build you see this. Dude, it was prevalent everywhere. Who made that a good idea? Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Or when it's moused over, as you can see here. You gotta be kidding me. Paste. And what's weird is when I click away, it does not click away. Oh no, it did. Okay, so the search button could be... Oh, you know what? No, okay. Yeah, the search button needs to be much better. Okay, I like that feature. Account menu. Okay, that's weird. Oh my gosh! I'm viewing this from a member and not from admin. Oh, Charles, you dope. Oh gosh. My bad. Hold, please. Oh my gosh, Botenston. Hello? The search button must be also the search needs to be the same font as the entire menu as well. And add this to the top above feed. And have it as a search field with search inside of it without the magnifying glass. That's that's nice. That's nice. Nice. All right, let's go with, okay, now we got to, that's my bed. That's my bed. Let's click out of that. Let's go to iCharles. Let's go to community. Let's go to a video. Let's go to video. Let's go to live streaming. Where's my live stream from yesterday? Huh. Where is my live stream? Why is this not showing up in the live stream area? That could be redesign the video. Okay. And if I go to videos, more to explore. Yeah, that's not good. Live stream should be added here. Let's screenshot this. Let's go there. All right, let's add that in there. Okay. I need you to add the category of live stream into the main videos page as the first category. So it's live. Actually, the first category is continue watching, then live stream, and then the third one, which is there, which is more to explore or something like that. All right, now I need to go into the individual video let's go into the individual video. Yeah, live, okay. Pinned to hero. What is that? Pinned as, oh wow. That's interesting. Okay, at least yeah, that should be tightened up right there. Better. How would I have to go to YouTube for that. Let's go to edit. Okay. Ooh, I like this. I like that. I like that. That pencil icon shouldn't be there because we already have edit. Remove the pencil icon. Oh, I like that idea though. Where I have public videos. Maybe a category right here, website. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's called the pivot. And that lives on the website. The pivot lives on the website. And in the video drop-down menu, video menu drop-down menu, and then is a main video category. Oh, that's good. So from now on, what I'm going to do is every single day, I'm going to put out a piece of content, and the content is essentially going to be, I don't know about that comment. How does YouTube do it? How does YouTube do it? I forgot how YouTube does it. When they're on a video, if I'm looking to make a video on this, or I'm making a comment, okay, you know what? We're gonna It's going to sound bad, but we're just going to rip off the design of YouTube. Should you say that publicly? All right, that didn't go through. Let's go like this. Let's go like this. All right. It's so clean. Hate to do it, but remove the pencil icon on the video, individual video, which is below the title. Also, let's do a little R&D, rip off and duplicate how YouTube does it. They have a very, very clean interface. They have the amount of comments, then adding a comment with the profile picture. Then they have a sort by to the right of the comments. And then after each comment, you could see the profile. And then at the bottom below that, you have the ability to like, downvote with the love icon by the video creator or publisher. Whoever created the video has that love icon. And then the reply, the ability to reply, and all of that is below 4 lines of the comment, and then they could read more. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Oh yeah. All right, let's go, because this needs to be cleaned up. I like it, it's clean, but it needs to be better. It needs to be better. And also, this needs to be right there. That's very, you should probably have that circle next to those guys right there. Let's go up to, which chat is open? Where are we at? All right, when to remove. Okay. So this was Botenstein.com on the left side. So Botenstein.com to make sure that I can actually create mockups. Reorganize the navigation. Okay, so that was, let's check on that. Let's check on the reorganize. That was this. Nope, that's the Botenstein. That was the build. That's the Botenstein personal website. All right, let's go to, okay, this is it. Mark Miller, I didn't even know what vibe coding was until I stumbled back on you. Got me thinking, did a basic budget. All right, Mark Miller, continue. Let's do a refresh. Okay. Okay. Could be better. Could be better. This thing should be floating over there, potentially. Okay, so the mock-ups, these are all the mock-ups. Proposed hero mock-ups. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this needs to be further over to the right with more screen size. And we got to give it, whoop, let's go over here. Copy. Then we got to go here. We need to move the menu further to the right to make sure that the mock-up columns all fit on the page. And make the menu spacing around it about 5 pixels larger. Upper, right, bottom, and left. All right, that should solve that problem. Send it, brah. And then we'll have to test Botenstein.com. That thing has been a bane in my side. And then after the stream, we got to work on the proposals and the projects. See, that's clean. That's clean. That's clean. Okay. You know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're also going to add that in. That's so much cleaner. Having the admin at the bottom. Having the admin at the bottom. Let's go like this. Let's add that in here. On the proposals page, we need to have a uniform menu When I'm on the proposals page, you have the admin at the bottom. When I'm on the admin, it moves to the top. What we need to have is a universal menu. So, and by that I mean the color and where everything is placed within the menu. So my eyes understand where we are. Unless we move the admin to the middle portion of the menu, so there's at least spacing between the workspace and the admin. All right. Sorry, just saw Opus only. All right, Mark Miller. I'm on the construction site today, so might not be chatting that much. Cool to catch you live. What's the end goal right now? I got you in my ear, though. The end goal is to have Mark Miller go out and create whatever he wants to create, knowing that AI at any time can create whatever he wants. If he's spending money on some subscription that he doesn't want to pay for, then he builds that. You know, we're so beholden to software companies, not knowing we could potentially build whatever that software company is doing for us. You know, project management is in a construction site at all times. You're managing the project. Well, what if I'm a contractor and I'm the local locksmith, plumber, electrician, roofer? I can now build my own website with my own clients, and I don't need to be beholden to anyone else. I can then run everyone through a QR code or a Stripe dashboard with an API call, and I'm not beholden to all these crazy fees. Websites that don't talk to each other, email management that don't talk to each other. You know, you can now manage your clients, you can email your clients, you can text your clients. When you onboard your client to a project or to a build, they get automated emails. Then you can have a survey go out automatically afterwards that they fill in as an email. And if they don't do a 5-star or 4-star, then you give, a portion back, like here's $50. I'm sorry we weren't as good, whatever. I don't know. I'm just making that up, but it's the same thing. I'm in real estate. I'm in sales. I'm in customer service. I'm in marketing. I'm in it all. A real estate agent has to do it all. A business owner has to do it all today. If they have a Mexican restaurant, a place just opened up near me. They just had a killer, Cinco de Mayo. That Cinco de Mayo restaurant owner could have a QR code that they show before someone orders. They say, hey, I'm actually your restaurant. Say it's Juan's restaurant. Juan Restaurant now has a QR code that when you go to the restaurant and you scan this, they get 5% off their order. But why is that? Why do people do points? So they track everything. They track the consumer behavior. But you could do that for your menu and be like, oh, actually, this burrito bowl isn't ordered that much. Let's scrap it from the menu. Now you have your own point of sales. You have your own memory in AI about your customers, about your business, about your ordering, and you can now predict how much food to order. Year over year in May, we usually go through a higher amount of burritos, black beans, guacamole, whatever. You now are tracking everything. So you build this program, then you're selling it to your clients just because if you dream, it's now possible to make it. Yeah, exactly. I've used these 3 examples before, but I have 3 friends. One, she's a dietitian. She pays probably 3 or 4 different softwares for booking calls, talking to people. Then she has another one from onboarding her clients. Then she has another one for her website. Then she has another one for maybe menus and things like that. Then I have another friend, she's a personal trainer. She probably does bookings as well. They're outsourcing this when you can own it on your own computer and it's free. The only cost is building it up front, and now you own it and you have it and it's on your database and it's not on someone else's database. All right, let's send that out. We are absolutely humming. The biggest thing right now is getting Boatenston up and running and then just not breaking it. That's really what it comes down to. I can't break this freaking website. So this is the thing. It's like, do you have an idea? Let's build it together. What are you building? I have a startup. Let's go with I am in marketing. All right, so it spins it out, verifying you're a human. See, that was way too fast. Way too fast. That's AI slop. Does that weird refresh. I think I got to start a new chat. We got to get this up and running. This is unacceptable right now. Unacceptable. We're moving you into the middle, and we're clearing you because your context is terrible. I want to make sure that we're on Opus 4.7. Yes. Because this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Unacceptable. We can't be playing these games, Opus. All right, let's fire this up. All right, now we're going to have to do a prompt, and just like, look at this. That is just, what kind of user design is this? Doesn't even fold. Okay, it folds up, but you have two using a proposal, send me a proposal. We have polish, you have a new angle, open a new menu. Like, way too much going on here. Way too much going on. All right, let's put it in. Now it's whoever prompts better wins. I've said that for a while, and I'm going to continue saying it. And this is an example. I got to send out a good prompt. All right, this was the admin members. Okay, so that was the back end. That was the back end of the admin, which is, admin members down here. Refresh. Okay, good. Could be tighter. This is what I'm looking at. So it's essentially the members. Maybe a mouse over. Brings up other additional items. I don't know what the builder is. I don't know what this builder is. I gotta send that out. I don't know what the builder is. All right, that was the admin. What is the column builder? I have no idea what that is. Is that people that can become a developer? If so, then remove that feature. Also, I want a hover that's very similar to what's on the main community feed, where I hover over it, over each username, and it gives additional details that are not in the columns. Maybe go to their profile, see their email, maybe not that, but additional items that I would be curious about if I hovered over them. As well as there's this weird space between the top and the start of the row. Remove that space. This needs to be tight against the top of the website. All right. Let's send that out. Now let's focus on this. On this website, we've been working on this for a while. And what we want to accomplish is people come to this website, they feel a sense of inspiration, or they don't know what they want to build, or maybe they are a solopreneur, or they're a business owner, or they're just curious about what software and AI can do for them. So they type in a prompt, they press generate. A window slides open from the right to the left, and there is a live process going on, and it goes through steps. And right now we're in a delicate balance by using the right prompts and the right steps to create a mock-up. We're using OpenRouter free, and there's the balance between delivering AI slop and taking too long and failing or delivering AI slop because it took too long. So we need a very deep research and analyze how we can accomplish this so we're not slamming our head against the wall. I just got to add in something. This is like when you're a coach and you're like, I had a rugby coach that in college that was hilarious. He was like 5'5" and built like a cannonball. And I think he was half coach to just not be at home with his wife and half coach because he wanted to party with us. But he was tough as nails. If we did a lap and someone skipped running around the post or running around the flags, he would have the whole team do it again. That's the only way to do it. You don't punish that guy. You punish the whole team. And dude, he was great. That was fun times, man. That was fun times. Rugby is a great sport. It's a little, you gotta be a little psychotic. I was not psychotic enough, though I got knocked out a couple of times. Granted, I got knocked out riding a bike, so. What, 3 times? 1, 2, 3. I think 3 times. One was really bad. My front wheel got stuck, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. The other one was I was going probably 30, 40 miles an hour down a road, and on a sharp turn, I had to bail, and I was clipped in. That one I seriously should have gotten, I bailed into woods, man. That one was really bad. Some guy was yelling at me. He's like, "What the F are you doing? I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. Young and stupid. All right, let's go over. This was the search engine. This is the search. Let's get the search going, eh? We're gonna pop off because we gotta start making, okay, let's refresh. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, now we're back. There we go. Let's go to search. All right, let's go to live stream. Okay, good. Okay, it scrolls in the background. What do you think of this? Okay, at least it works. Go to search, go to live stream. What is AI? It tastes like spam. Like the actual food spam. All right, let's click there. Oh yeah, that didn't work. That didn't work. That did not work. All right, at least I can screenshot that. That's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. Let's go into there. AI slop is non-responsive to the screen size. It looks like it was made by Linux in 1993 by Adobe. That's the best way to say what AI slop is. Reorganize. All right. The feature did not work when I clicked see all results. Also, it's very hard to tell that in the screenshot that option is actually available on the pop-up modal. Also, I want there to be the ability to scroll within the pop-up modal to additional results, and also make the pop-up modal larger by about 10% vertically if there are enough search results for that to happen. In other words, have maybe 8 to 10 results. Obviously, if there aren't 8 to 10 results, then it's not. But if there is, then it's show 8 to 10 results, and then they can scroll for more. That's called thinking about scaling. All right, let's go in here. Let's go to search. Let's go to live. Let's do a screenshot of this. Oliver. Who is Oliver? Oliver seems like a nice lad. He seems like a nice lad. All right, this guy's still working. That's fixingbotenstein.com. This is reorganizing the nav in the admin area, which is not Boatenston, not there. Not there. That's AI slop. That doesn't make me happy. Let's click out of here. Let's get a little organized. Here comes the proposals. You know, we need a better fave icon. All right, so that's over here. Now off stream, what I'm gonna do is, that's interesting. That's interesting. So when someone creates a proposal from Boatenston, I also need do a better color than tan and black for the Boatenston.com backend. And also, we need to look into the proposals and projects. Proposals is brought in from Boatenston.com. When people submit a proposal, it comes into here. We're not worried about the coming into the proposal area because that works, but we're worried about each individual proposal needs to be looked at with a fine-tuned comb to make sure that every menu option within each individual proposal works. Also with projects. Projects is when a proposal and a builder come together. They're now in a project, and now it's a project management style interface. Make sure all of the features work individually for the proposals and for the projects. Now we start to develop. 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 All right, send that out. So essentially a proposal comes in. I created this yesterday and people can bid on it. I was the one that created it. So I created it. It should have no bids. Okay, I also should say, also do note that the builders are the ones that are able to submit proposals. Oh no, bids I mean. Come on. Submit bids onto a proposal. That is their permission within the Boatenston.com backend. The person who submitted a proposal will be able to submit, or see, not submit. This is very important because this is all around what they see. See the submitted bids. Obviously, if you are the one that submitted a proposal, you are unable to fill out a bid because you're the one that proposed a project. The opposite is true as well. If you are a builder, you can only see your own bid. You can't see other bidders. And there's obviously a form available to you. For the projects, that is within each individual project, you have roughly the same, you pretty much have the same interface within each individual proposal. But the permissions are the same for the projects, which is you can only see, builders can only see the projects they're working on or worked on, and the client who submitted proposals can only see their own projects as well. Yeah, the permissions behind this is very important. Okay, so this is the deep dive to find out what in the heck is going on with Boatenston.com. All right, let's read it from the beginning. I think I want to pop this out to its own chat because this is a massive part. Essentially, people are going to come here and they have a bounce rate. If it's high, you're not put up high on Google standards. And essentially, we need a very low bounce rate. So this is Boatenston.com. I also need to add in a fave icon. We need a very low bounce icon. They come here and they are inclined to fill out. All right, here it is. I read the actual code and pulled in 30 days of telemetry. Wow. Holy cow, throwing away assumptions and looking at the numbers. The real numbers, last 14 days, 46 runs. Scoring distributions. The classify, okay, I am so blessed that that is in the database. So now it could literally pinpoint exactly what is wrong with this build. And this is it. Classify is supposed to be a 1 to 2 second JSON mode warm-up. On Ling, it averages 22 seconds, 15 times slower than Haiku, and 17% for free tier plans. So what I wanted to do was non-AI slop on free plans just to get it up and running. I did that. Now I need to do non-AI slop with paid tiered in Open Router. The problem is I got to pay for it. So I think I wonder if I could say the 15-second timeout in Classify does not save us because Ling apparently does return very slowly. This is the single highest leverage change in the whole system. Swap Classify off Ling. Either ping Haiku or move to, at 50 runs a day, Classify alone is 17 minutes a day of avoidable user wait. Wow. Okay, generates prompt is paying 3,600 tokens of tax per call. Okay, so then it is impeccable. Okay. Why do I need to know this? Because this is happening in the back end and I can't see the Sonnet runs cost 2 times the latency of Ling and you're not getting your money's worth. Sonnet averages 237 seconds per generation versus Ling's 121. Sonnet writes more tokens and presumably better ones, but the user is waiting twice as long. If Sonnet is meant to be the pro tier, that's defensible. Okay, Ling is producing 8.12 average pages, and that's already past your published bar. Is Sonnet a published pass? No. Right now, it's all three implicitly. Pick one. Streaming is solid. Okay, I don't know why it's bringing up streaming. I don't know why it's bringing up streaming. Resilience, 8 out of 10 are restarts. Yes, that was a huge. 22-second Classify is also producing failed. See, that's what was happening. What was happening in the background is before it goes to the next step, I have an orchestrator that essentially makes sure that that step was actually completed. The problem is that it was taking too long. Then it would go to the orchestrator and then it would restart. Then it would go to and it would just kept on restarting. I also made sure that it is model larger plus scrollable plus 8 per category. Oh, whoops, I moved over. That is live search, okay. What you should not do, despite the temptation, tighten the critic threshold further, add a third generate prompt, or add another LM stage. The critic is pun. The wins are upstream of the model in prompt size. Give me the highest, hardest priority based on your deep analysis on how we can produce high quality while maintaining speed, where people feel inspired from the mock-up to actually create a proposal. Dude, that's a great prompt right now. That's a great prompt right there. Gotta give credit where credit is due. All right, I might be going off stream soon. Click the share button. We are going live every single day until I get an office so I can scream as loud as I can and bang my head against the wall and be telling people, bring people in, start building their stuff, start building their website, starts building their CRM, their personal development business that sells courses or whatever. All right, let's see these 5 and then, okay, that was shipped. That was from the admin backend, because we have people now joining the backend, or at least joining the community. And the first 50 are free. And then we're gonna start getting some momentum, because people are gonna be putting in their bugs and going on video and things like that. Done. Okay, so that was with the live. Let's make sure all this is good. We also need a fave icon. I already said that, but all right, let's go refresh. Oh, that's clean, dude. The search is now up there. That is clean. That is clean. That needs to be removed. Oh, that's even cleaner. That is clean. Wow. 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 That's clean. That's clean. Click off. Okay. Now we removed this space. Where is that? Now you could remove the search menu option in the left nav that is between, just under the members area. Also, do you think it's a better user experience that they type in within that left top nav search, or have the pop-up modal? And also make the pop-up modal to see more results more pronounced in the verbiage. And also make sure the results all include that word, not the comments or anything else. But if it's a video, it's the title of the video. If it's a user, it's the username. In other words, you got to be more specific than just pulling in everything. All right. Let's fire that one out. Let's fire that one out. All right, boys and girls. This thing is coming up 1% every day. That's it. Okay, so this is the mock-up. This is the mock-up. This is what it says to do. Redesign the... Okay. It redesigned the video. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. It is better. It is better. It is better. It is cleaner. It is cleaner. This is what it currently looks like. Is there anything that you would do to clean this up, to make it better, faster? Making sure that everything works, all the buttons work, that there's an algorithm to the actual comment likes. In other words, the likes bring it to the top. Yeah. Oh, I have it pinned. That's why. All right, here we go. Here we go. The one thing making the page visibly build itself in the panel. Everything else is incremental. Why this, not something else? The data says quality's already there. Your gate works, okay. What hard looks like here. This is not a one-line config flip. To do it will require 4 places. Streaming endpoints that pushes tokens, not poll status. Today. All right. Progressive HTML closer, okay. Swap. Compounding effect on the conversion. This change does 3 things to the proposal funnel simultaneously. It goes from 121 seconds to 3 seconds. Authorship transfers to the visitor. Failure becomes legible. Why would you? What is the cost in engineering? What it unblocks? Okay. This is the move. Okay. We are going to do this 1 to 2 day build and be very diligent on the files, the lines within the files of code that need to be transformed, the spec, everything. This was this should be either a markdown file, a spec, a phased build. I'll let you decide, but this needs to all happen with the highest and hardest priority to make sure this is up and running and into production by tomorrow, which would be 2 days of building. We got to get this up and running, boys. We got to get this up and running. All right, so the search button is going to come out. All right, that's out. Okay, there we go. I actually have no understanding of what you're actually saying. Perfect. I don't know why that's there. I don't know why that's there. Let's do a larger. I don't know why that's there. That should be, but it's fascinating. That's all that matters, man. I don't know physics, but I listen to people who are much smarter than me. And yeah, because it already has it right here. I don't know why. The 3 comments needs to be bigger too. It needs to be the same font. Also, I don't know why there's a pin and unpin. Remove that black pin and unpin. That should obviously be in the comment area. Also, the number 3 in the comments needs to be the same exact font as the comments, and obviously real. Also, the way that YouTube does it, they do a line that says add comment and not a whole horizontal pill. That's a very clean look. The font on this page needs to also be 1 pixel bigger, especially in the views, the date, the description, username, and how many follows it has, and also the comments. Also, the view reply needs to be 1 to 2 pixels bigger, but it's fascinating. Yeah, that's when I was learning about astrophysics and all these other physics, I didn't know what the heck they were talking about, but it was fascinating. Live search. Okay, so this is now live. This is now live. Okay, let's go to live. Okay. See all 5 results, videos. Okay, that's clean. Yeah, so now it is pulling in just the titles. Before it's pulling in comments and, oh, that's an interesting user interface. Anything with the search functionality that you would recommend to improve? Yeah, all right. I know what I'm gonna do after. Reorganize the, continue. This guy's stalled. All right, so that was the back end of Botenston.com when people fill out proposals, which is, let's go, it should be back here. Oh, here it is. All right, let's refresh. So each individual bid and proposal, oh wow. Overview. So people can now bid, timeline, pitch. They could bid on proposals, then they can enter into a project. So then they have tasks that needs to be a drag and drop. Feature requests, so this is from someone that is actually the project owner who owns it, the person that actually provided it. Then you can chat back and forth. Let's see if this goes. Okay, good. That should be right and left. I'll fix that. And then files, drag and drop should be the only way. Wow. 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 All right. All right, dude. This is good. This is a good place to end it. If you want to join the iCharles community, it's free for the first 50 people. And I'm going to be doing videos every single day that goes into my personal page about what I'm building, my experience about it, why everyone needs to get involved. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to start building for people. I'm going to hopefully close a deal on Saturday, which would then really, oh yeah. You know what, before I go, I'm going to do this because I don't want to miss this. Let's go. This needs to be uniform right here. Let's go community and, all right, what should the menu option look like? It should be, the font size. As you can see here, we have inconsistency within the spaces and the sub menu between the spaces and the sub menu of the videos. The font size for any sub menu that happens should be the size of the spaces. And we also need a smaller ball, the size of the videos ball, and it should be the color light blue that is used when you tag a member with the @ symbol, or unless you recommend a different color. And they also are not aligned vertically. In other words, the spaces is further in from the left column than the videos. Okay. Dude, we've gone a lot, 22 days and we've gone a long way. We've gone a long way. I just heard something in the background. Did someone ping me in the background? Notification? Someone started following me? I don't know where that notification came from, but something happened. Something happened in the background. I wonder if the search, is that a good place for the search? Yeah, because then this is centered. That's centered. Oh man, dude, what we're building? Should this chat replay be? Yeah, that's good, right? Videos, live downloads. Downloads should probably be sunset because we're not using that. So we'll send that out as well. Downloads, I need a PWA app, which is essentially you have it off. We're not using downloads right now, so just remove it from the main videos page. And also make sure that the main video page is the exact same style menu on every single area of the videos sub-pages. In other words, the playlists, the individual videos, the live stream, all over. It needs to be the exact same menu, and tighten up the menu so it's a little bit closer to the top part of the browser. There we go. There we go, boys. All right, we're canceling it for today. We'll be back live tomorrow. Live again tomorrow. Like the video, subscribe if you want to join the community. First 50 people are free. First 50 people are free. We're going to be doing a lot of videos. Okay, the live streams was added in. That should be below the continued watching. I like that. I like that. That number, we don't need the number there. But what's up, Amired 5760? What is the Oh, what is that symbol? I don't know. I've never seen that symbol. But we'll be back tomorrow, 9:30, hopefully 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, every single day, building out the project to get me an office space, get me a family, get me the transition away from real estate, and vibe coding. I like that. That's clean. That's clean too. All right, so we had some big wins today. Big W, boys. We had some big W's. Big W's. I think that opens, okay. That could be better. All right, boys. Subscribe to the video, and I will be back again tomorrow doing what I do best. Vibe code.